Now, y'all know me. I try my best. I try my damned best to keep it 100% honest around these parts. But I would be lying if saying the words Persona 4 Golden on PC, Persona 4 Golden on a system that's not a Vita, if that shit didn't make me feel weird as fuck inside. Yet here we are. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because this is about to get uncomfortable. 2020 is the year that just keeps on giving, and we have got our crazy oddity for the month of June. That being Persona 4 Golden on Steam. So for those who are unaware, if maybe this is your very first time checking out the channel, and you're wondering why this overdramatic black guy with glasses is going crazy over a game, well, at least not more so than usual, it has to do with the history of this game in particular, right? So Persona 4 Golden was a game that released on the Vita in 2012. It was actually an enhanced re-release of a game that came out on the PS2 in 2008. And the best way I could describe the Persona series' impact is that it was the series that really blossomed and flourished at the right time every single time it released. Because if you were a gamer in like the late 2000s to early 2010s, you would know that the Japanese RPG scene, at least as we knew it in terms of, you know, we had our really quality AAA JRPGs, AA JRPGs, single A JRPGs, things like that. It had literally got to the point where there was no quality AAA RPGs and everything was coming from like the indie developers or the small fledgling studios. Basically, you had to be in the know to know what was a good RPG. Enter the Persona series. It was that series where it was just like, yo, I can actually recommend this game to people because it's genuinely good and it's not like a little too weird and out there, because you know how the genre can tend to be. However, as the years gone on, it became increasingly more difficult to recommend that franchise to people. Because unlike all of these bigger companies like Square Enix, who spent the better part of the last 10, 15 years re-releasing all their games on smartphones and newer consoles, etc., etc. Yeah, Atlus, oh god, what is the best way I could say without sounding too... They fucking suck at re-releasing their games. You know, not even just getting into a topic about game preservation and making sure that you bring the games forward in the best possible quality so, you know, millions of new people can enjoy it. This company wouldn't even re-release a lot of their games as is, you know? Like, I ain't talking about any type of fancy HD or masters, but I'm talking about just re-release them on new systems so that way they won't be lost to time. If you wanted to play the Persona series as a whole, I'm talking about, you know, the classic games in addition to the newer entries, you had to own some type of an older system. So if you wanted to play the majority of them, you had to own a Vita. But the problem with the Vita is that if you weren't a person who liked a lot of games on handhelds, this system would just be a $250 paperweight. I'm just being honest. You could track down a PlayStation 2 and play through a lot of those games. But again, you have to track down a lot of those older titles. And then there's the emulation route. You can go about that, but some of those games didn't have all the content that the newer re-releases had. So essentially, you were kind of shit out of luck if you wanted to play the Persona series. You had to be really dedicated. Now, kudos to all the people who did go out and do that, but I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to go out to do that. It's going out of their way. Enter Persona 4 Golden on Steam. Out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere. Like, nobody was thinking about this because we've been asking Atlus for the past 5, 6, 7 years. Essentially, since Persona 5 was announced, like, yo, release Persona 4, release Persona 3 as like HD collections, put them on these newer systems. And now with the Switch, it's like, yo, re-release those games on the Switch. Atlus was like, no, have another Persona 4 dancing game. Have 2 dancing games, in fact. Have a remake of the old dancing game. It was just like, Atlus, I want to love you. I want to give you my money to repurchase these games. Yet you don't want to do it. We always used to give them a pass before, considering they were a smaller studio and they had limited resources and people to work on them. But now it was just no excuse, man. If you got the time to put out 6 different Persona 4 spinoffs, you got the time to do a port to PS4. And they didn't do it. And they still haven't done it. Yet here we are with Persona 4 Golden on PC, and its release is actually a lot more significant than I think a lot of people realize, because this port was spearheaded by Atlus's Japanese division. when it comes down to like these ports of a lot of Japanese games, whether they're like older titles or new, it's usually spearheaded by a Western division, whether it's like their European branch, North American, and that's usually if they want to get the games on like Xbox or put them on PC. This one, to my knowledge, was actually developed by a lot of Japanese staff, and I think they had another company in Japan working on it too. So that right there, I was like, is this a paradigm shift in thinking for Atlus? Like, are they finally realizing that, hey, Persona 4 on any system outside the Vita make more money? Like, literally, there were people who went out and bought a Vita for that game. So you don't think they'll go out on PC and take a $20 download? Like, dude, come on. So on the one hand, I think I'm very excited and optimistic because, you know, the old saying is true. Vote with your wallet on the things you want, and maybe that company will listen and do the things you want. I say maybe, and I stress that because Atlus is a company that literally, to give y'all a perfect example, the last time they put one of their major IPs on PC was Catherine Classic, right? They put Catherine Classic on PC, yet they went ahead and did a full-blown, like, proper remaster of Catherine with full body. They put that on PS4, the Vita, and then they ported that version to the Switch. Yet the PC got Catherine Classic, which is essentially just vanilla version. Like, what? Like, Atlus would be the type to do something like that. You know, they won't give you the most up-to-date version. They'll just give you the old one. Why? But who knows what this can mean in the future? Because if they see that it's making a lot of money, maybe they'll go ahead and revive the catalog. And I'm not just talking about Persona, man. I'm talking about the entire Shin Megami Tensei series as a whole. You know? Like, Nocturne, Devil Survivor, things like that. If we could get those games, even if it's just on PC, it would be a godsend, because trying to track down those games and not even just recommend it to people, but for yourself and playing them, it's becoming damn near impossible if you don't want to shell out all the money. So here's hoping that in the future, they'll release those games on PC. But in addition to that, hopefully they release Persona 4 Golden on the PS4 and Switch. Again, Atlus is a very weird company. They want to test the waters by releasing Persona 4 Golden on a system that they've never released it before, as opposed to the PS4, which is a proven system. You know what I'm saying? It's just so weird. Persona 4 Golden sold a lot on the Vita with its limited audience. Why wouldn't you want to put that on the Switch with its massive audience? Again, Atlus is a very weird company, and we just got to stop trying to wrap our brains around how they operate, because they're just so, I don't want to say they're just so disconnected from things. Maybe the Western branches have a better say on what to do. Who knows? But as it stands, I'm just thankful that in the year 2020, I now have an opportunity to recommend Persona 4 Golden to people. It's available right now on Steam for $19.99, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite JRPGs. It actually saved my love for the genre after I was just falling out of it. Like I said, Square Enix and I, we have a very big love-hate relationship. They've gotten better since, thankfully. But early 2000s, like late 2000s, early 2010s, oof, it was pretty rough, man. But let me know down below if any of y'all picked up Persona 4 Golden on Steam, or are you waiting out for the hopefully inevitable releases on PS4 and Switch? Comment down below, let me know. And for me to you for now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.